right next to me is saying it. You may hear him. Down goes Frazier.
Hey, how's everybody doing? It's Jerry from the Neutral Corner. Hope everybody's Monday is going well. We got a guest tonight that I've been following on Facebook and really looking at the things he's doing with boxing and some of the things he promotes. Very positive guy, and I'm as I'm watching him and following him on Facebook. I start to think like I need to know a little more because I like what he's doing. Boxing's been in my family since going way back to the 40s. I did a little bit of amateur boxing, and I followed it my whole life. My great grandfather was a trainer. So boxing to me is about a story, and everybody's got a story. And here on the Neutral Corner, what we like to do is give everyone that opportunity to have that platform to be able to tell their story. Because boxing saved so many people from so many different situations in life that they were able to fix that and turn it around through boxing. We hear it all the time. And that's what the Neutral Corner is about, is giving people that opportunity to tell their story and how boxing's helped them in the ring and also outside the ring, right? And we want to have trainers and different gyms and fighters. And I know I'm going to hear from my guy from USA Boxing. He said fighters. It's a boxer. They're athletes. They work hard. And he's so 100% right. We like to have boxers and cutmen. And we've had Parkinson's being worked on through boxing. And those are the things we want to do. We want to hear your story. We want you to be able to promote your gym and the programs you're going on because it's so important to your community and to the sport of boxing. And my guest tonight is just that. He's done a lot in his community, and I thought it would be great to have him on a Neutral Corner. Now, he says he doesn't like to do the boxing podcast, and he feels that he doesn't have a lot to say. And I like I said, I follow him and watched him on Facebook, and I'm like, man, you got a lot to say just by what you're doing. And I would love to have you on a Neutral Corner. So I reached out to Brad Willett. That's who our guest is, and we're going to get to it in a minute. But I reached out to him about having him on the show, and he, we talked a little bit, and he was telling me how he wasn't into the podcasting, but he was willing to come on the show, and I was excited about that because I really wanted him on to tell his story and what he does in his community at Revere Boxing and how he helps so many young kids. You got to check Revere Boxing out on Facebook. Follow their page. It's a lot of great things going on in the sport of boxing. So to not take up too much more time, I want to. And first off, and I always forget this, it's live. We're live, man. And I like to have it as a conversation. I'm not looking to be so structured. No, I want it to be a conversation. I want it to be a relaxed atmosphere. I want you to come on and have fun. Just like if we were hanging out in the living room talking boxing. That's what we're about. You know what I mean? So I want to give all the boxing pages on Facebook. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write them down so I can name them. That's something I'm going to do is give each show so many names because there's so many boxing pages on Facebook that give me the opportunity to share these shows. So I want to thank them, all of them. And like I said, we're going to start naming them because I think it's great. We work together. We grow together. Everybody's trying to build a brand, and what we're willing to do is help. And I want to thank them for helping me build mine. So with further ado anymore, I want to bring on Brad Willett out of Revere Boxing. Brad, come on in.
What an introduction, man.
Well, no, man, I ramble.
You met your match tonight. I can ramble with the best.
I love it.
Thank you so much for having me on. I got a beautiful pack there, boxing hat. I got a cup for you. I got a hoodie for you. I got a tank top for you that I want to give you when I see you. It's a nice care pack. We really appreciate it, man. I'm beyond honored. Thank you so much. And I told you before, I don't do these. You told your crowd, I'm doing it because I like you. Something about you I like. So with further ado, as you would say, let's get to it. How are you?
Man, I appreciate that, man. I like that, man. Good, Brad. How so? Everything's good, right? I love the your background you got going on there. I love it, man.
I appreciate you. Everything is extremely well, man. The club is running like a fine oiled machine. We got an amazing group of kids, man. The staff is second to none. Extremely blessed, man. We're mashing heavy, and from what I'm hearing, we're changing lives. So what more can you ask for, man?
So Lad, let's just bring it to the beginning and explain to me and to the viewers that are watching this live. Kelly's in. Kelly, open collaboration is a beautiful thing. Thank you so much, Kelly, for joining us tonight. Brad, listen, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in boxing and how boxing's helped you to be able to help so many.
There it is. I got you, man. I started martial arts somewhere around 1993, 1994. A dear friend of mine, Jojo Parker, he's still my dear friend to this day. We got 30 years in the bank. His father, Joey, was a boxer and had a boxing background, and he had his boys shooting from the hip from a young age. I mean, these dudes could barely stand up. He was already stretching them out, already getting them throwing blows. So when I met Joe, we became friendly at school. We automatically clicked, and I just ended up at his house. Shout out the whole Parker family. Amazing people. Amazing. And they had a front lawn. It was like a condominium type thing. They had a front lawn. We had a kick and shield and a pair of Everlast mitts. And I threw my first punch, and I got to say, man, as crazy as it sounds, I fell in love with it. And just the way, they're really locked in people. They're just very, like us, man. They're good at talking. They can express themselves. So the way they explained it and how it would, carry through life, his dad, you got to get him on. I hope he would do it. Has the best.
Absolutely would do it.
The best. One of the
Open
best.
Open invitation.
I appreciate that. I'm going to let him know. One of the best guys I ever know. All hot, but a dog, he had them going way before me. And then when I met him, I kind of just said, Jojo had me on the pads, jab, roundhouse kick. And man, the rest is history. I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
There was nothing like it as far as, for stress. Obviously, physically, there's nothing like it. And that kind of transcends when you get going with it. So at that point, I really loved it, fell in love, and then we ended up at Richie Angelo's Karate Academy. And that's when we started doing kickboxing with a dear friend of mine to this day. Before I get into that, I want to say rest in power to Rich. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. He passed away in a triathlon. Oof. Talk about one of the best guys you'll ever meet in life. The best. And so let's say rest in power to Richie. And started training there. And I met a couple of their trainers, a couple of their instructors. One guy's name was Murph. Talk about one of the best guys. Another one, man. You got to get these guys on. Just, he was the instructor. Took a liking to me. He's got an Irish background too. And, but through boxing and through martial arts, we just all got to know each other really well. Extremely, close. So, you know how it is, man. You've been in boxing for
you build a bond, right? I mean, you build a relationship, you build trust with a trainer and bond. And we'll get into that down the road where it comes in with your working with young people now. So you experienced that trust and that bond, right, at an early age.
I mean, what was I at the time? So we were there a couple years. And, like I said, it's like a family. My boys, Jojo, and my man, Jojo Parker, Justin Parker.
When you say down there, where are you talking about?
Richie Angelo's Karate Academy there. There's a casino over there now. It's Encore. So it was right there, and it was just a spot, man. So one thing led to another. Like I said, we built a family down there. That's just and I started leaning towards the streets. Again, 18 years old, man. I was heavily influenced. The glitz, the glamour, Cadillacs, the whole thing, man. So I was still kind of growing.
I can relate.
But I had Murph saying, don't do this. Don't do that. It was like that, it's almost like Sonny and C, that type of dynamic from the Bronx Tale. Don't do it, kid.
Bronx Tale.
They're going to mess you up, stay away. And everything he said Back then came true. This is going to happen. You're going to be doing construction in your 40s. What are you doing? He wanted me to, follow his footsteps. A trainer like he was, run the kickboxing. I can't stress it enough. I just started hanging out with the wrong crowd. It's just what I was into, man. I thought it was cool. So we all go out one night to the 621 bar in Malden. You're probably familiar with it. And I had a fake ID at the time, man. Shout out Kevin Hobart, friend of mine. We looked similar, so I had his ID. So I got in everywhere, and I knew how to talk, and I had a couple dollars, so I knew how to move and groove. And we were out drinking one night.
Right.
And it was last call, and I was with some older cats, and we ended up going to KA's, King Arthur's. I don't know if it's there anymore. It's a strip club, and we ended up sliding out. We were in a BMW M5, and we hit a brick wall doing 90, and I broke my neck. And I lost my teeth, and I sprained my back, and they said I'd never walk again. I said, never fight. I want to be a fighter. I want to throw keys. Like, bro, we're going to see it first. And it was bad. I'll never forget the look on my mother's face, man. I'll never forget it. Just looking at me. I remember them saying to my mother, yeah, you can't see him yet. We didn't clean him up yet. She's like, what? Like, I'm talking, bro. I don't know if you can see the scar from
I can see
there. Doctor says, don't touch your skull. First thing I did, boom, passed out. It was bad, man. So luckily, I'm walking again. I got to it. I beat it. What they said I couldn't do, I did it.
What the rehab was like.
Rough. I was still alive at the time. Rest in power to my Nana Banana, the best of the best to ever. She carried all boys in Malden. They went and got a hospital bed and carried it from Hobart up the street. Then it was different. You kind of knew who your friends were. It's not like that anymore, man.
Absolutely.
It's not. You be talking to one guy.
There's no loyalty, respect. They fit everything. And I kind of went, and not to, but my little backstory was I kind of was in amateur boxing, doing well in amateur boxing. My trainer was Ronnie Como here in Fall River, Massachusetts.
Shout out, Ronnie.
I was doing well, and I started to go down another road, hanging out with guys that were older than me, hanging out on the streets, getting into whatever I was getting into, and ended up in juvenile hall, ended up in group homes and all that stuff. And so I can kind of understand where you're coming from. You know what I mean? It's a great story. It's a great comeback. You turned your life around, man.
I did. I try, put your best foot forward every day when you get out of bed, man, and I'll die on that hill. I tell everybody, it's how you think. It's all mindset in life. With bad stuff, you can look at all the things that could happen. I choose to go the other way.
Good for you.
Bounce up first thing, you made beautifully. Talking military style. You got one thing right for the day. You got up, you got to it. Yeah, you're ready to hit the day. Let's get back to the story. So all that stuff. Boom. And obviously you broke your neck, you broke your back. I told Murph, because I wanted to fight, man. I was very, very heavily into it, man. And I thought I would do really well. Big cat, I knew how to get to it. Anyway, you're not fighting. Told Murph, what do you think about being a trainer? Well, I don't, really have enough experience. I never made the walk officially. So I don't, he's like, bro, I think you'll be really good at it. Want your key to the facility. The rest was history, man. Something about teaching, convey things in the way I can tell you how to throw the jab and how to lean in and turn your hip. Like I can break it down in a way not many men can. I've been around a long time. I've seen a lot of trainers. I watch how they work. I watch how they move. I do it very different. So gives me the key. Wow. Now I'm in it. I'm like, all right, let's go. Let me get $40 an hour at 19 years old, man. Everybody, amazing facility. My dumb ass wanted to go left. I wanted, and like I said, I had Murph in my ear, and shout out Murph. We're contact. That's my dog. Anybody around the area, check out Total Performance Sports in Malden. What a club! Demon hours, all the stuff you need to get in shape. Professional, amazing staff. laugh. And Murph, again, is as far as human beings. He comes from that cloth of Richie Angelo, who mentored him and taught him and got him where he's at today. And that's what he tried to do with me. So I guess I'm not trying to bounce around too much, but I went that way. And it disappointed him. He told me recently, last week, he goes, I was mad. I ain't never mad or angry. I was disappointed through to you. So now let's get into There's so many layers to.
No, go ahead. Yeah. Listen, it's your stage. It's your story. I don't want to interrupt.
I don't want to cut you short. I appreciate it. So we just, I started hanging with that different crowd and like just around the dudes that were drawn to the madness, man. I'm a strippers, the whores, you know, that life, being at all costs. Go here, let's go there, let's do a one. Thinking money and all that mattered. I used to fight with my dad, the best man in the world, man. I got great people in my corner, man. You're gonna come something where you're gonna meet everybody, the best people.
Absolutely, bro.
And I still went that way. Man. You know, I still went that way. I used to tell my dad, man, working man's a sucker. Like that he would get up every day and get it done. I thought that was bullshit, man. Jerry, I did. I'm like, I'm not living like that. And now all these years later, I realized, flipping full circle, he was right, man. An honest dollar, man. You put your blood, sweat, and tears into something, man, it hits different. Anyone can get a few bucks, man. It don't last long because it just doesn't. And that's what comes with that life. So eventually I started touching drugs. Girlfriend of mine, B, some things, you know, she got gloomy. The freaks do come out at night, Jerry. And she did some time. You already know what time it is.
Too far apart, brother.
And she was into the OCs, the Oxycontin. It's back then, man. That town, I mean, everywhere, really. So she was just so drawn to them and understanding, because at the time I never touched drugs. Like I said, I was heavy into kickboxing, martial arts. Never understood it. We ended up going separate ways, and I tried one day. I'm like, oh, okay, right. I see why. And my life was no moment ever, because then drugs. I got this drugs and alcohol, man, and I think a lot of people can relate. When I'm on drugs or I'm on alcohol, I can open up in different ways, and it can get me in different rooms, and I can just express myself a certain way. Maybe I couldn't when I'm not back then. In the same breath, man, on the flip side of that coin, it ruins everything, man. Relationships, you know, you start looking at things different, and you become someone different. I guess I say all that to say that because I wasn't myself, man, a long time. And I just recently got it together, man. The last couple years, as far as alcohol, my dear friend Roger Sheets, he was killed at the hands of the police, unfortunately, and he was my best friend, man. He's another one, just heart of gold. I mean, pardon me.
No, man, and I can see your realness, your love, and your loyalty for your friends, man.
I can see his face right now. I can see. I know how proud he would be. You know, and it hurts. It hurts to lose.
You know, Brad. I go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. I just want you to know that all these people will be proud of you, because I can relate to a lot. And I'm not saying this because I'm a host. I've gone through the shit. I'm from Fall River, Massachusetts. I'm sure you've heard of Fall River, Massachusetts. We got a huge drug epidemic out here. I remember running the streets in the 80s and in the 90s, and I get it. It was simple. It was easy. We thought we were doing the right thing. You know what I mean? We didn't realize. I grew up with a single mom. I didn't have a dad growing up. I had 5 brothers and 1 sister living in the projects. So I get it, man. So your love and your passion and your loyalty to your friends, that's just the way we were. That's how we were brought up. That's realness. You don't see that a lot today. And every single person you talked about, I can guarantee you, are very proud of the man you are today and the difference and the impact you're having in people's life. This story is amazing. and it should be told, and you should be proud of yourself, more importantly.
Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate it, man. And yeah, so it got dark, man. I, drinking and let's get back to that. I'll talk about the pandemic as far as more recent, but back then,
wherever you want to go, it's your story.
Much obliged. So I would just, I got hooked. You come to the wake up. You need him to move around. You need him to live, and it's disgusting. It's like having handcuffs on. And that's a feeling I could never miss because it grabs you, Jerry, by the balls.
Mm-hmm.
It grabs you.
Yeah.
And very few that can get through it and turn it around after it gets that deep. And yeah, so I ended up stupid crimes. I went away for stupid stealing GPSs. Like, bro, it got that dark.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not from that, man. I was raised right. Shout out my dad. Shout out to that. It doesn't matter how you were raised, where you are, who matter, man. It can happen to anybody. That's the type of awareness I'm trying to raise, not just through boxing, but in general. Like, you are not immune to this, ladies, gentlemen. You're not. It grabbed you like that. I was against drugs, man. I'm going where the cash is. That's where I'm at, man. Drugs, that was foreign. We used to laugh at them dudes. Pardon, getting all stuffed up crying. We used to make fun of them cats.
Nah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
And then,
I hear you. And we did too.
And then I turned into it, and it's like disgusting. So I ended up in a year in Middlesex County. And what an eye-opening experience, Jerry.
Woo! Tell me about that.
Let's get into that.
Tell me about how it's changed you.
Well, first off, you
come on, Brad. Come on.
You're locked up. You're locked up. Got no money. You got no. First off, your two favorite things are sweat and you're stripped down to nothing. Now you have to live with yourself. You only got you. You can't run, hide, mommy, daddy, go see your girl. Nah, man, it's just you looking at you. And whoever my profanity, that's just what it is.
Nah, it's all right.
So you see all the walks of life, the shit stains from up the street. This dude, it's different crimes, whatever the case. However, Jerry, in the same breath, I met some of the best people. Cats I still talk to this day. Shout out my man.
Made bad choice.
Yeah, that's it. Shout out my man Curtis Jackson, one of the best dudes I know, man. Got the same name as 50 Cent. I mean, that's his magic right there, Kurt, man. We met inside. And, I would shadow box and move and groove. I'm into Wing Chun and trap. And so I'm just, you're in jail. You're trying to get back in shape, trying to get my weather together. And he would watch and see. So we'd start talking. We'd start chatting, chopping it up. And he was all in. He was so excited about it. And one day, he teach him. And then I started training. I had a good group at that point. Where pardon me, let's do something different. Let's stop focusing on the madness and the gambling and all that. Let's come over here. And the offer, why not do that? We got nothing but time. You're in jail. Why not? I started teaching Kurt, and we became all these years. I disappeared for a long time. We'll get into that. We click right back like we never stopped talking, man. Just a solid dude. Should have never been in, but some things went down. And go ahead, you're up. What are we gonna say?
Yeah. So that's the trust, the friendship that you build. And to build trust inside is not the easiest thing to do. You know what I mean? Because nobody trusts nobody. If you're able to do that, I think that speaks about your personality and your experience in life, man. So go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing.
I think that you're still close to this day.
Yeah. We're extremely tight, man. I would so we wouldn't suffer a toothache. Literally,
and you met him.
That's my dog, man. Man, and here's where it's dead. And here's where I have zero respect for dudes. Is if you're my friend, you're my friend. I don't talk subversive. I don't talk behind your back. I don't do none of the extra shit. I cut it off. It'll offend himself. Kill it, bro. Or just don't talk to me. And then sometimes, bro, it's so wild. People do it so much. You find yourself kind of feeding into it. It's like, whoa. That's not me, Jerry. It's not. I can't.
Yeah.
Can't get behind that, man. It's the point of talking. We're grown men. Some guys in their 30s. Come on,
I love that.
Come on, man. You can't do all that. And It was very different training guys inside. First off, you got no equipment. So Jerry, we took shower shoes, the sandals. I put my hand in them. We started wrapping them and doing different things.
Yeah.
And, you know, like Ricka, so we would slide that and whatever we come, it was hitting hard techniques, man, because you got nothing but time and your mind's clear. So all the techniques, all the things I learned, because I took so much time off doing drugs. I wasn't training fully, you know, when I'm getting high, or it all came back, and I remembered why I loved it.
All your time, Brad, was taken up looking for that next high.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was,
You know
man.
what I mean?
How to get $1, or you know. So when you get stripped of everything, like I said earlier. So now you remember, you know, who you are. What is your true no core? And it was always teaching boxing and martial arts. It's just something about the way I can do it, the way I convey it. I can get your jab snapping in 3 minutes, man. If you listen, you're able, you focus, you look, and you pay attention, I can do it with anybody. It's proven. I could teach an orangutan. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to explain. You'd have to see it to believe it. That's another thing. You're always welcome.
No, I
think always open at the club.
I love that. We appreciate that, man. But I think
absolutely
it goes to communicating skills and the way you were brought up, and you embraced friendship and trust, and that's big to you. So that when you're speaking about snapping a jab, throwing a right hand, staying off the line, the way you convey that is there's a lot of trust. There's no what word am I looking for? Like no needing to read in between the lines. It's you are who you get. And you send that vibe. You send that vibe out. So I think when you're conveying that, so let's get back. So did you ever go into drug rehab, or is that something you got clean on your own when you were inside?
No, you're in jail, so you really don't get clean. You just get stripped.
Right. Well,
I went back to it years later.
When you get out, did you get into some rehab or some facility to help you? Or?
I did great for a while. I was working at a luggage company down Logan Airport, man. Shout out my man Tennis Trost. I know my man Johnny Hayes is on the book. And what we do there for business, check this out. Down Logan Airport in East Boston, we do delayed luggage recovery. So say you took a flight to Italy or Ireland or whatever your cup of tea is. They lose your luggage. Eventually, they find it. And it gets sent back. We would go, we have some guys go down the airport, pick it up, bring it back to the shop, log in all the info, then deliver it to your home or business for a fee. Brilliant. So I was doing that. I was staying on point. And then you started touching the drugs again, man. You know, you get bored, whatever the case, you know, you get drawn back into that life. It's tough, Jerry. I was teaching here and there. He let me put a heavy bag in the back of the shop, which was player. So we smacked that out. I'd show a few people. My man, shout out DJ. They were down there. I got my manager. He's a good cat, man. Might be a dude you want to talk to also. I'm making a list. So,
yeah, make that list, baby.
Yeah,
You're
man.
welcome.
I appreciate that, man. So, you know, not to bounce around too much, years later, I ended up, the pandemic hit. You know, that type of, them vibes were different, bro. You don't know if you're coming or going. Like, this was just a very different world, man. I was drinking. Luckily, I always kept a job. Always knew how to, like, once I had a job, I had a job. Like, if I didn't, you know, I'd always get dough or do businesses or open dojos, half-ass. But if I'm fully locked in, I'm locked in. So I knew how to keep $1. Always, Jerry. And the pandemic hit, I was drinking heavy. Like I told you, my man Roger got murked out. Whatever happened there, you know, I wasn't there. I'm going on what I heard. Police basically killed him. Couldn't catch his breath. Boom, foot on the neck. That type of energy. Dude couldn't breathe. He was asthmatic. Now he's gone. For what? For what? They got a call. He was whatever with the no. We're still in court for that. His mom, shout out Laura, one of my favorite people on planet Earth, man. Lost her son, Jerry. Imagine burying your son.
No, I
exactly. On some nonsense too.
Right. Yeah.
Wasn't like he went out blazing, he was causing shit, like nonsense, man.
Yeah.
Rest in power, Roger. So I lost him, and it got gloomy, brother. It got dark. And I'm another great friend of mine. I'm not going to throw him out there, buddy of mine. We used to, you know, heavy into martial arts. We just stopped talking, and I don't know why, you know. And that was one of my best friends, man. And so it's like losing two cats at the same time that I would literally, Jerry, I'm looking at you, kill for. I would. No, I'm no tough guy. I'm not trying to play that, but I would.
No, I understand.
At all costs, I would get it done for these two men. One's gone, and the other one's still not talking. And that hurt more than anything because he's still here.
Yeah.
You know, he had a family. I was close, whatever the case was. We'll leave that there. Yeah, he's not here to just. It got gloomy, and I felt lost. You lose your best friend. You know the saying. You look like you lost your best friend. I literally did.
Yeah.
The time Boston contract drill. Shout out Ken, man. That's a whole.
I did concrete. I did concrete for a while.
Tough.
I get it.
Tough, man. What were you doing?
Nah. The guys would go out and lay forms. I would rake, bow float, Fresno, cut lines, do sidewalks.
There it is.
Around.
Working, man.
I was a foreman. I had to have things dig safe, all kind of things, reline curb, all that stuff. Fall River, we do it different. We keep it in-house, baby. We get it done.
Oh yeah, that's how we roll. Yeah, so we cut concrete. So we do core drilling. Say you need a hole, you know, for a pipe or wires, whatever. Cut slabs. A buddy of mine, he actually opened a company after he was working with us, Core Pro LLC. That's out of Revere. So if anybody needs concrete cutting, core drilling, slabs, hit up Core Pro, man. They'll get it done. Small, family-owned, family-operated joint. Italian cats, good dudes, man. You know, you're not just a number. They care about what they're doing. So check them out. We'll get back to what we're talking about.
We're gonna get all these shout outs, man. We definitely gotta do. You gotta
appreciate it.
Shout them out. Even when I'm doing my show with someone, I'll still give those guys shout out. I like that local business, that's what I like to support. So listen, Brad.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely, brother. So listen, you told me early in the show that's your wanted you to train, and you said, "Well, I never walked down. I never had a pro fight." If that's what you were trying to get to,
yeah, right? never had an amateur fight.
No, Brad, no. Listen. You had something bigger than a pro fight. You were battling demons and fighting demons. That is tougher than any opponent you could have ever faced in any ring, my brother. To look at you now and to see what you're doing, you're winning. You've won. You're doing it. You're doing it. The greatest trainers aren't someone that was a professional fighter. And professional fighters don't make the greatest trainers. It's someone that has a love and they're locked in and been through things and been through adversity and battled through adversity to become who they are. Well, you've had tougher fights than anybody would face in a fucking ring, bro.
We still fighting. We still fighting, baby.
Absolutely. It's a daily battle.
Yeah, well, now it's weight loss. So back to the pandemic thing. Jerry, I'm drinking 2/5 a day. My dogs are gone. I'm by myself. I'm living with my mother in Malden, dude. Like shit got loose, bro. Sharing a bedroom with my brother. Shout out Craig. I love you so much, man. Sharing a bedroom. At what? 30? Come on, man. It got gloomy, so I'm just shattering myself, man. So I can just knock out, fall asleep, and forget it's even happening, brother.
Wow.
Up every day, never missing a day. They can't say it up, dealing with customers. If I'm a minute late, I'm calling, letting them know. Yet destroying myself, brother. I gained 100 pounds, man. Just ripping, roaring, not giving a shit. Eating once a day and just overloading it, bro. You know, it was madness. It got loose quick. So that's the daily battle.
So now your new opponent, your new fight is weight, and I'm battling weight issues too. So I can relate there. I tried the keto, I tried the Mediterranean, and I'm trying to lose weight also. So now that's your new fight. That's your new battle.
Yeah, it ain't trying to lose weight. You either do it or you don't. So we're going to do it. And here's the crazy part. I can get anybody. Why am I having so much trouble with myself? There's another fight. You just said it. Now I'm battling that, bro. It's easy, man. Tying in your shoes, rolling out of body. I still move like a cat. So I'm blessed on that end where I did martial arts and boxing my whole life, so I'm still limber for 340. However, I'm still carrying 340. I'm dragging a wagon. My knees are rocked out, my hips, my back. It's time to get it off. I'm saying it live on camera. I said it to myself. It's like, there's no room for that. You know, I got to give an example for the kids.
Let's work with each other. Let's work with each other on that, because I'm reading the book Let me get. I don't usually do this, but I'm reading this book right here. Right, it's called Living Good Daily. Right, so it talks about carbs and stuff, but it talks a lot about ingredients in foods. That's a whole another show. But listen, let me tell you, you're in your new fight, and I think you're gonna do well. Let's ask you this: how does all this get you to revere boxing?
This is the crazy part. So I took 5 years off social media, pandemic time. My man always says, "Yeah, you got a fake page. You're creeping on us." No, I was completely off. Shout out my man Jay. He knows who he is. Completely off it. Just like I said, I disconnected from the world, man. I got at my absolute worst. I had to hit that bottom, as they say, to hit it and bounce right the fuck up, pardon me, and go through sailings at this point, man, because I'm not stopping. So anyway, got my weather absolute worst and met my queen, Smiley, better known as Nicole. I'm gonna try to get her to to you. She's shy though. Best thing that ever happened. I met her on the eHarmony joint, man, the online shit. Not Tinder. It was like kind of like a step up. You had to pay for it, subscribe. Yeah. However, that's how we met. And I gotta say, man, she accepted me for exactly who I was, bro. From day one. Her husband passed away from heroin. Her husband overdosed and died a couple years before I met her. So she was in a very, very bad place too. As far as she's not fat, but she would emotionally eat and just stay in a dark hole. And even the poor dog, shout out my guy Mookie, she would just give him a big bowl of food in the morning, just go to work. It's like all round and shit. You gotta give him a scoop in the morning. The whole, we'll get into that. That's a whole nother show, as you would say.
Yeah.
The point is, she was in a dark place too, Jerry, and did on this wavelength. It's so hard to explain, man. And we just for something about you, because like I said, she lost her husband to overdose, so she heard it a million times. He might have probably tried to get sober a million times, but what she said to me is, something about you, I know you're gonna do. Like whatever you say you're gonna do, I know everything I ever said I was gonna do, I've done everything. Not going to get into that, showing off and doing all the extra shit. But if I say I'm going to do something for her or her home, she already lived here and I moved in when we met. So now it's, it's both out, So everything I say I do, it gets done. And that's when it kind of just clicked for me, because I'm like, all right, I got a good girl, man, who really gives a shit and believes in me. And, when you meet someone or you date, you start talking about your passions, what you love. So boxing, to answer your question, boxing started creeping back out. MMA started creeping back out. Where you been, motherfucker?
Yeah.
Things here and there. Or I see a fight on TV, like I said, I was living with my mother, so now we worked it out where I moved in with her. So now I'm buying big screens and shit. So I'm seeing all the best fights. I'm saying, we keep it classy. So I'm watching fights. I'm like, oh, you get the urge, You know how it is. You got sophisticated knuckles.
I watch fights and get emotional, Brad.
Yeah, man.
I cried through some fights. I knew what I could have been, but I decided I knew everything and went down the wrong road, and I was good at what I did.
Sure. I was going to wear my...
I get emotional, so that, man. Come on, baby.
My Gaddy Ward shirt, but I kept it playing with the outcast.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but that's another story.
Gotti, one of my favorite fighters.
Oh, man, on the Fighter movie set, shout out my boy Randy. He's friends with Mark Wahlberg. But it was at the time when Ettore died. So Mickey was just in a dark place. Dickie, they were just in a dark place when we met him. I'll never forget that. And my boy Randy said to Mickey, he said, we talked about the fight with Gaddy. He's like, man, that was crazy. And Mickey's just like, he's like, I know. Randy's like, no, you were in there. It was just surreal meeting a dude like that who would literally fight to the death. He ain't quitting or, going out in the stool like some of these cats, man. And I'll never understand that. But as you would say, that's a whole nother.
No, I got a story. I had an opportunity on another podcast. This podcast does a lot of sports, football, baseball, basketball. They had a chance to interview Mickey Ward and asked me to come on as a co-host and interview Mickey Ward. So I started talking to Mickey Ward, and real quick, I won't take up too much time. Funny story. Hey, funny story. I'm sitting with Mickey Ward and I'm talking to him and I'm asking him how close the movie is to his real life.
Wow. What'd he say?
Right? This is what he told me. He says, you know the scene where Dickie jumps out the second floor window and lands on a mattress?
Yep.
He says it's funny, and he says we were at the premiere and we're laughing, and he says it was funny, and I says, well, how close was that to real life? He said, well, I'll tell you, there was no mattress, and Mickey jumped from the third floor.
Right, and I heard that story too. Here's the thing,
I was like, wow, man. I was like, and I'll tell you that Mickey Ward, that the movie The Fighter is so close to his actual life. It's amazing.
I was there. We were on set, man. Christian Bale killed that role, first off.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out Christian Bale. He played Dickie better than Dickie can play Dickie. Let's keep it.
That's saying a lot.
He murdered that. He wasn't. He wouldn't deal with us. It's like he'd walk, we'd just be straight business. I mean, he's acting, but Mark, Amy Adams, Jack McGee, I love him from Backdraft. We would talk and craft service, eat prime. So it was cool. It was an experience. Yeah, my man Randy, better known as JFK, Mark. So I was trying to get that interview. Sometime that Mark, man, see if he remembers me.
Oh, I want to watch. I want to watch that. We're gonna become friends, man. We already have clicked.
We already have friends.
We've got so much in common. It's unbelievable, man.
Absolutely.
Like I know you do your own thing, man. Whatever you need from me, dude. Kelly, thank you for checking in, saying very cool, Brad.
I appreciate it.
Kelly's from Rhode Island.
Kelly, thank you.
You know Kelly?
Nah, man, I don't know. I can't really see. Bro, that's another story. I'm blind as a bat.
Kelly has a
different monitor. I can see a little bit.
Blind photography. She's a boxing photographer. Like her page, follow her, click her. Also, people travel.
Usually, probably knows Emily Hayes. That's who we typically from. She's in the boxing world too.
Yeah,
I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, she'll be doing it too. I'm coming to see you, Brad. Blind Girl Media. It's on. It's open to that. Let's get back to the story.
Good people. Hey, Brad. Good people, man. Good All right. So listen. So we're battling, right? We're battling our demons. We're getting to where we need to get. You got family around you, friends.
I told you I met Smiley online, and I met girls, man. I'm not gonna lie. With respect, I'm not a hunk of shit. I'm not just trying to play girls and do weird shit. Like I try to bring the best out of every woman I'm around. I always have, man. It's each one teach one, man. You see, like I said, perfect example. She's leaving a whole bowl of food. Teach her, no, scoop. Work with each other, man. So I met some really cool people, man. Meeting Nicole. And like I said, just the best for who I was. Knew that this guy that was drinking every day, I was way bigger than this. Just hunking, bro. Straight drinking. Didn't give a shit. It was that dark, bro. Yeah. Huge. And just breathing crazy, but moving. And I said, yo, I'm done. I said, this is it. I can't live like this. This is not me. Went to this guy, Haverhill, I believe is the name. And did the whole thing. The 7-day detox. Yeah, what did I do? Man, at the first hour, liquor store, pull over.
Wow.
I wasn't done yet. Another 2-3 days. I think it was Easter. And then something felt like Tyson gave me a quick 1-2. Is it? I'm going to the hospital every other day, bro. So I don't know who is moving on. Someone said, it's your time to stop, cuzzo. Like, enough's enough. You're killing yourself, and you keep it up, you're not going to make it, man. And we need you, like us, around. It's that simple. Not to pat myself on the back. However, I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table, and I know what I do for others, and I know what people get out of me being around. But, of course, there's always going to be weird energy. The club, certain people, you can feel it, man. People that are there for the wrong reasons or just themselves. It's like, yeah, cool, man. Do you. But anyway, I'll stay on track. So I knew it was time. And shout out Serenity, man, because something clicked at that place. And I knew I was just done drinking. I haven't had a drop since, what was it? January, February. I always forget the date. People are so adamant about that date. I just never remember. It was April 2022. Over 2 years. So I don't even, again, I got the full bar right here. I got a bar cup, man. You come over, you can have a drink. All good. My buddies do it. I'm just done with it. I knew it was time. I know what it does to me. It gets a hold on me, and I don't need it in my life, man. I'm better off without it. So bang. Now I got my weather together, so better than ever, because now I'm really mashing. Unfortunately, my job, I was with the concrete, because I told him, look, I gotta get right. He's like, do what you got to do. Your job will be here. Guess what? My job wasn't there.
Yeah.
And it's no, whatever, disrespect to him, or maybe he feels like he had to do what he had to do. But don't give my mother and my girl your word. Like, oh, he got a job. I came home, my van was gone. I mean, it was their van, whatever. So that was the first trigger. I'm straight. I wanted to drink right there, but I didn't. And I never have since, man.
Wow.
I knew I was done. So I have no urge. I knew I was done. We'll get on a whole nother story. I want to keep going with this. So, bang. I told you, a good friend of mine, Randy Rand's like, you got to get back online, man. There's some things we can do out here. There's some bread with the YouTube thing, your personality, the way we move together. He's like, what are you doing, dude? A couple times, I'm like, nah, man, I'm better off without it. I'm smooth, man. I'm silk over here. Y'all can have that. Kept going. Ended up doing it, man. Bro, it's so wild because Facebook changed my motherfucking life. Pardon. It changed my life, bro. I got in. That's how I got my position at Flush and new quality, just by being on myself to people and showing people what time it is. And being 100% transparent. Foot in, 1 foot out. This is me, y'all. Take it or leave it. You love me or you don't. I'm just one of them dudes.
That's what's
I could give a shit, man. Go ahead. I want to hear you talk.
I love that. I love it. I'm gonna hold you to. I love that. Oh man, I'm old school, man. That shit. All you had was your word, man.
Correct.
You didn't have that. Forget it. I don't care how much money you had or who you knew, how much influence you had. If your word was bullshit,
you ain't shit. Done. That's it. Exactly, man. Well said. And so just kept it moving, man. And felt awesome. Just like little videos and stuff. And my boy JFK always puts me up on game, dude. He's like, yo, get the DJI mics. That's how I got the Method Man interview. We had the mics on the freaking that's a whole nother story. We had the mics on a tripod all set up with the camera. Method Man came out. There was 1 million people storming him. 10 minutes before, we're talking to Method Man about deadlifting in the back of the club. Shout out Static, man. Yeah, talking about, because the conversation's different when you're talking to me, getting into, I'm a fan, I'm a fan. I am a fan, but I'm not. It was smooth. So he's like, yeah. I'm like, can we get a second? My boy told his manager, Method Man, boom, I'll show you the interview later. It's pretty smooth. I asked him if you could portray one role, because he's acting now. I said, if you could portray one role, dream role, who would it be? He's like, hesitation. Later, y'all. I just walked away. Yeah. So, yeah. So, again, let me stay on track. So my boy's like, yo, get the mics, get the good iPhone. You want the aesthetics to be different. You want to stand out. Don't just be one of them catches in front of the camera, all shaky in the blankie type thing. Do it right. Get the good mics. Get the good laptops. Have the rest is history, brother. As I say, it's like, and so a buddy of mine, Sean, I went to high school with. Well, here's how it went. So the union, I'm in the union. I'm in the laborers union, 175th out of Lawrence. So they put me on a job with a company called New Quality Fence. Tough work fencing, bro. Like I said, I'm out of shape. The knees, the weight, the whole thing. But I still mash out. I still get it done.
My son-in-law that runs the show can relate to that. He works for a company right now.
Talk, man. We'll try to get him in we'll get him in a good position. But anyhow, so I'm mashing. I'm doing what I got to do, but it's all young kids. However, Jerry, the best fucking crew and company, they're all MMA fighters. It's the dad, and they got the 4 sons working there, or 3 or 4. Shout out those, man. They know they have Brian, Sean Jr., Cage, just hit Cage, man. Probably holding his baby right now, man. That's freaking amazing, dude. And I fell in love with the company. For him. Yeah, he's awesome. I say all military dude, straight up cat. So I say all that to say, I love the company. I loved it. They had to let me go. There's no position. I'm this big dog. I mean, come on, man. It's a young man's sport, as I like to say. So they let me go. I was hot, bro. I told Smiley, I said, this is the type of company I can retire with. These guys said, like the total opposite of what I just came from over with the concrete.
Yeah.
They got their weather together. They got the good soap, like little things I look for. I remember smelling, it's like, I love this company, man. The good soap and shit. And I'm like, damn. So I was sad, man. But I always know how to get a buck. You lay me off, I'm gonna figure it out on the side, whatever the case is. And they ended up calling me back after like seeing me on Facebook and really getting to know me. Shout out my man Sean pulled me in the office one day, Cage too, and he said, "Bro, we need you. We need you at this company. Let's figure something out. You're a sales guy." He said, first off, he said, "You can't be in the field no more." He goes, "Bro, we're in our 40s. We're not going to be out there pulling fence, rip. Come on." No longevity in that, Jerry. You can't. It's
absolutely, man. That wears and tears on the
destroy
body,
yourself. So, like, we need you in the office, man. And it was just dope, man. I literally love the companies I work for. New Quality Fence. Shout out those men. It's great company. And shout out Flush. I'm at Flush also. We do porta potties, portable restrooms. We rent them. Go ahead. What's on your mind, man?
No. I just right here. Justin came in and said, local 876 Taunton Field Super for the Luca Fence Company.
Should make your money, man. Shout out those. Are they red trucks, Justin? Believe I see them here and there. Anyway, So I end up with little companies, the best companies you could possibly work for, and I do sales. And that's just right up my alley, man, because as they say, they tell me I'm a people person, so I must be if everyone's saying it, Jerry. We'll get into it. We're getting some. So I got a few months in. I think next year it's going to put me in a whole different position, man. I think I'm going to do really well with this. And like I said, it's a great company. Shout out my man, George. Yeah, it's basically the guy I report to. No, I don't talk that boss thing, man. It's my employer. We work together. My man, George. That's my dog, and his son, too, Matt. That's my guy too. I got so many people I love it.
I think what and I love it too, and I don't want to keep breaking it's your story, but I think when you believe in something, and you believe in the mission of a company, right? And you believe in that, and you believe it in your heart, it's easy to sell and speak for that company because you speak with so much passion, with so much authority, because you believe in that product, you believe in that mission. And I think that's what you do.
1,000%. Because look, at the end of the day, toilet's a toilet. There's not going to be much difference. It's about the service provided. And the fact, if you call me at 4:00 p.m. on Thanksgiving, I'm still going to answer. Jerry, what's up? What do you eat? Whatever the case is, we're going to fix it, man. You're paying for me, man. You're paying for that service that's unmatched. Because I know these other companies. I mean, there's great guys still fresh in it, but I know we do it different. The pitch is it's just different. I wholeheartedly believe in the companies enough to fully stand by them and put 100% in every single day. So I'll probably retire with these guys. You never know. Life's crazy. You get pulled in different directions. So I get that gig. I'm all over Facebook doing the extra shit, positivity quotes left and right. I'm feeling myself, man. I'm sober again. I'm feeling things I never thought I'd feel again, brother. And I'm coming out the hole, man. Coming out the hole. I see light now. And I'm jumping up, and then I get a message on Facebook from a police officer, Joe Singer. I'm like, oh, man, we had a little history and stuff. So, oh, here we go. What's this? Click on. Hey, man, let me actually pull it up. Let's keep it smooth like that. But basically what he said is, look, man, I love what you're doing. I see what you're doing. We got this going on down here. Yeah, in Revere. What would you think about? And let me pull it up, man. We'll keep it playing, man. He don't care. That's my dude. We go right back to the beginning. Now we got tons of messages, of course.
So he's a police officer in Revere?
He's a resource officer suing the schools. That's how this all started, man, because he's working with kids. Let's give it to him, Joe. Hope you don't mind. Hey, brother, the content you posted. We've been doing our thing over here in Revere with the after-school boxing program. If you're in the neighborhood next week, come check us out. We're there every day, school, 2:30 to 5. If we can help out in any way, give me a shout. I just want to see everybody win.
Wow.
God bless with the, kept it smooth like that. Sounds like a plan, bro. I'm 340 pounds. A place to train, maybe shoot some content would definitely help for certain.
Absolutely.
Fist, money, nut. Hell yeah. The stairs on the way up will help. Where's the club? Rest is history, man. Now we're cooking with oil. Because I'm like, all right, boxing right up my alley. Here's the crazy thing. I walk in, who's never pronounced his nephew? He's a pro friend of mine. And he's there. I wrapped Travis's hands for the first time. He's a pro boxer now. Oh, man, so I immediately felt at home. We start chip-chopping it. Go ahead. Hold on one
Travis
second.
Kaufman?
Nope. Begins with a G.
No? Okay.
I'm going to try to pronounce it. I always think, because I knew I was going to mention him, that I should.
Try to practice it?
Yeah, Mazzy. Anyway, straight G, man. I wrapped his hands for the first time. I work with him. I found out he's a pro boxer all these years later, so I run in. He's there. Wow. Yeah, awesome. Just very welcome. And we're laughing about his journey, where he's been, and he traveled to Cali to fight, and nothing around the whole thing. He's gonna be a great guest too. And then our brother, man, my dog, Greg Vendetti. I'm sure you know the villain, Greg the Villain Vendetti. Talk about tough motherfucker. Pardon me. Look that motherfucker up. Talk about dog, bro. Yeah, you're gonna see when you look at he fought Lara. Anyway, that's another story. And bang, automatic Joe was just so welcoming and like automatically seeing how I'm working with he's like, this is your house too, bro. You got control whatever you want to do. Let's do it. And man, it just got crazy quick because now kids are coming in. That's my bag, man. I had it for years. Training kids is what I do. Special thing. I just know how to talk to kids. I keep them comfortable. That's a whole other, because there's so many layers to peel. I'm like, this is me. Let's rock and roll. Man, I just fell in love with it automatically. It felt like home, and the people, and Revere as a community. And shout out the mayor, Patrick, always keeping it player, having a place to just. The mayor gives us full support, man. He's a G. He's like one of us, bro. That would be a player interview. But anyway,
shout out the mayor, Revere.
Shout out Patrick Keith. Man, good dude. And I got really deep really quick. It's what I do. I'm like all in or nothing. Like if I'm drinking, I'm drinking 2/5 a day. If I'm teaching boxing, I'm not. That's where the kids get connected. It's like, you're heavy and like practice what you preach. I'm telling them to be there every day because I'm there every day.
Right.
And they're learning something every. So we're just,
and they're learning more than throwing punches with you, Brad. They're learning more than throwing punches. And when we talk about young people boxing, they think we're teaching young kids to go into the schools and beat each other up. No, we're teaching them to be confident kids, right? Talk to me about that, because we spoke about that. That's important. And I want people to hear we're teaching young boxers how to box, but it's more than throwing punches.
Well, because it translates into life, buddy. Like, to a life are so similar in so many ways. It's crazy. If you really know how to break it down, about to break it down for you, like the discipline of showing up every day. Let's start with that. If you're not there, you're not going to learn. It's going to translate to your job or being there for your family. Discipline. Get up, do, and go home. You got it done, and be proud about that. These kids, you should see how their face. You should see how they do. Like, I know the ones that are all in, dude. Shout out Thomas the Train. Yeah, shout out Thomas the Train. Shout out my guy.
Thomas the Train coming on.
That's my dog, man. He's coming up. We got my boy Bottles. He's like a little brother to me. My dude Isaiah. We got Canelo, man. We got my boy Ayub, better known as Ace. We got a solid little crew, man. And I had him sitting in the office one day. I was thinking Alice Mikes, and I'm like, I looked at Thomas. I said, what's the best thing you learned from me so far as, whatever, however I worded it. He said, respect, Brad. Respect. I believe you saw the video I did. He said,
yes.
I treat everybody, and it doesn't matter who they are. I put it in my words, but basically, from the trash man to the president, it don't matter. You show that man the size, you shake his hand, you give him 3 feet, you keep it smooth. Man. That's what they've been taking away from me. My boy Isaiah Bottles, his mom comes down every day. So she sees how close the relationship is, how he looks. Man, it's like family, Jerry, already. Man, and I'm fully locked in. Those are my guys, man.
Yeah.
From the staff, the knockarounds, guys that come in here and they would people with the same goal as far as, like, my goal is simple, Jerry. Simple as 1, 2. I want to get away from the shit that grabbed me, keep them away from the streets, all the madness, and not have to learn the hard way. The same thing Murph tried to do for me in a different way through boxing, but not only boxing, like he fights. Shout out my boy Joey Cav. That's Dana White's right hand, man. He does promotions out in Wilmington, so he invites me +5 every time. So we do that. We go to car shows. I try to keep it play. I mean, life is crazy. I'm so busy as you. So we do what we can outside the ring, outside the gym too. And that's what it's about as far as the outreach program goes. What you're asking about is more to it than just following the pack. Be your own. Have some integrity and do not.
Yeah.
So many people, Jerry, proud and just do what everybody else is doing.
And I think that translate what you're teaching in the gym translate in life, and then it translates in the classroom where some kids and I want to have you. I'm going to have. I don't know if you're familiar, Aaron Bernardo from Bernardo's Boxing.
That's my dog. Yeah, I only met him once. Unfortunately, I've only met him once. We had a rumble in Revere. Talk to me. He seems like a good cat, man.
Yeah. So I want to have a round table. Yeah, great guy.
I like that.
He's helped out the neutral corner a lot. He's always helping out the neutral corner. But I want to have a roundtable discussion to talk about high school boxing and how I feel high school boxing would be such an important sport to the community and everybody involved. That's for another show, but I definitely want to have you on that panel.
My goal is to get either boxing or MMA in a school curriculum.
Started as
red tape behind him, man. Obviously, with this Stady that just got killed in the ring, that's a stain on the sport, man. Bad. I mean, that's a whole other story. Who knows what really happened there? So you got to be.
I had the Massachusetts State. I had the Massachusetts State Police boxing team member. A couple of members on my team on interviewed them just recently. You can go back and watch those episodes. I had Peter Bienemy. Peter Bienemy, I believe, is a state troop up in your area. He's actually on the Massachusetts State Police boxing team. The Massachusetts State Police boxing team is the only team in the country. We're the only state in the country that has a Massachusetts State Police boxing team. Now, there are New York inner city police boxing teams. I was going to say that. We're the only ones that have a state police boxing team within the whole country. It's part of what they're going to go through. The story behind that, I have no idea. I'm going to really get into it. It's a sad situation. But I think what you're doing with young people, it's relating to them in life and into the streets, and to be able to be a more confident individual and be able to express themselves well. And that's going to translate in a classroom, Brad, where I think it's going to have the most impact in their lives.
It translates that, Bottles and Thomas go by, they do the weeds at my mom's house. Like, they got relationships with my parents, bro. Like, I'm all in. Like we, so they're making a couple dollars and they're learning that now too. How to earn an honest dollar.
Absolutely. Through
labor and hard work. And, my mother, she's the best of the best. So she gives them cookies at the end and a little tip. So they're happy as happy can be. And, yeah, so it's a different way.
It was a different way than you and I grew up running the streets, and I didn't have a father to lead me in the right direction, and it's not an excuse, because even if I did, I would have probably done the same thing. You know what I mean? But it's to have people like yourself to help these young people and hope, and life's complicated today than when it was when you and I were growing up. It's so complicated, so many other distractions, so many other things to get into. It takes people like yourself to be able to structure these young people and to be able to live their best life, you know what I mean? And not have so many stresses like we did growing up. And I think you're doing it, and I think it's important. And that's why I wanted to have you on a neutral corner. And if any time you want to bring on some of these young fighters, I'm going to get it again, some of these young boxers on, I want to know how it's helped them in school and in life and everything else. It's an important thing.
I actually have a couple of brilliant ideas. We'll talk about off camera where we can collaborate, and I got some ideas already.
Yeah.
So, I definitely, my favorite part about it and what really hits home with me is bringing these kids out of their shell, because I was a very shy cat, man. I was very shy. When I met JoJo, like I said, when I first started the Sweets kickboxing, etc., I was a shy dude, man. I wasn't the most confident cat, and my dog JoJo brought me out of that shell. Keep getting emotional tonight. Pardon me, brother.
No, man, it's all right. This is the realness of the Neutral Corner. And when I told you to, and I know you were reluctant to come on, but this is what I wanted you to experience. It's your stage. It's your story.
Dog, we just been through so much together, man. And the fact that 30 years later, I mean, this motherfucker can crack. Talk about never made the walk either. This man, toughest pricks I ever sat next to were in the can. I'm talking these motherfuckers will part of my lay you out, drink. That's it. Real deal dudes, man. Not this shit taking the shit on the ground. You know, them dudes, man, there's a whole nother section for them cats, man. We do it different over here. Humbly, man. One of them dudes.
Yeah, no, I understand.
It's a different cloth.
Yeah.
And just got
that's what you're trying. That's what you're trying to teach these young kids not to do.
Right. And I don't know where we were going with it, but we got back to Joe and just brought me out of my shell. Real quick.
Yes.
Pardon me. Brought me out of my shell as far as being more confident. The Parker family talk is the exact opposite. So that started rubbing off on me. And that's one of the things I'm doing with kids is, you know, besides sweet science and the best feeling of the world being that guy, it's those small things, being able to talk. You know, a kid could barely tie his shoes, not even looking me in the eyes 6 months ago. Now we're having full-blown conversations like he's 30-something years old, dog. Like that type of that conveying it like that is just hits different with me. Cause I'm like, damn, man, you totally out of your shell, cuz you were barely talking. Now you're full conversations. They sit in my office. It's different, Jerry. It's different.
So because we're going over, but I'm having you on again, bro. And we're gonna and this time because what you're doing. So what are some of the programs you have in the gym? Talk to me about, before we end, about Revere Boxing. How, I don't know if you're a 501c3. I don't know if somebody can donate. They wanted to help out.
Yes, sir.
So go ahead. Before we end, I want you to get that all out, how they can follow you on Facebook.
We'll start with that. That's Joe's whole thing as far as he got the program together, man. I was blessed enough to walk right into it. And now, you know, I day operations now, everyone else, of course. And so that's his lane, but it's an outreach program. It's for the kids. We have pros also at night. We got my dog, Alex Rivera. We got Rashidi Ellis, who trains down there. We got some dogs at night, man. They come in, they use the space at night. Some of our boxing clubs shut down, so they're over with us now. So we got some really good energy in the house, man. I'm talking dogs, man. Them dudes been at it a long time. We got them at night, so we're mixing it with them. However, it's about the kids, man. It's the outreach, getting kids off the street, getting them in there, learning some new things, and staying away from the madness. Bro, it's so family orientated. When you walk in the door, you're going to see what type of time we're on, man. It's just different. It's a well-oiled machine, brother, and it runs off respect. You know, you walk in the club, come up to me, say hello, because we got a lot of new people now. So that's like one of the first things. It's like, don't just walk right past me. Like, come say hello. Those coming in lately, it's people coming up. People want to donate, hit me up, man. Definitely. We're doing big things.
Tell them the Facebook page, Brad. Tell them the Facebook page.
Instagram shut me down. Yeah, that's a whole nother story that's going on. Dude, I had the best people following me, top dogs, like crazy. So that's gone. So just Brad Willett on Facebook, man. You'll see my mug in the picture. Yeah, it's a professional shot.
We're gonna share that on the Neutral Corner. Brad, listen, man, keep doing what you're doing, man. You're winning battles, and those battles. So I don't want. Look, man, you never know how much of a true fighter you are until you come up against something you didn't plan for. You come up against adversity you didn't plan for. A doctor's not going to know how good of a doctor is until he's in a surgeon room and he comes up against something he didn't plan for. A lawyer's not going to be as good as he thinks until he comes up against something he didn't plan for.
I'm going to steal that one.
Keep doing what you're doing. It's a process.
I will.
And look, man, continue to do what you do. You've been battling your battles, and those battles are helping you to become who you are. I'm sure the people we spoke about today, the Parker family and so many others, are so proud of you to see what you've come out to be and what they knew you had all along. Thank you so much for coming on a Neutral Corner, brother. It's not going to be the last time, my man.
I want to real quick, guys, go on YouTube. check out my man JFK Show Off on YouTube. He's doing big things. He's almost at 10K. Please write that down, my brother. He's following the Karen Reed story very closely.
JFK, I got friends. Yeah. I got friends in Florida that are all over that Karen Reed story.
Get with him, man. He's got ill perspectives, man.
His point of JFK YouTube
Show Off. Yeah, I'm gonna send you all the info, brother.
Yeah, send me that. I'll get that out.
I was telling Jojo Parker, he's gonna start a page. All got some stories, man. He did 8 up the way. So he's seen some things, and he been through. I'm gonna leave it to him to tell you all that. But that's my dog, man. So he's gonna start a YouTube page too.
Good.
And as far as we're going, we're shooting tomorrow. We already got one in the book. It's on my buddy's YouTube channel. It's just a dry run. So I'm doing my own podcast. We got 3 cameras going. We got the best mics you can. We're doing it right in the ring. So we do it Tuesdays. We're doing that tomorrow. I want you on there, man. We're not doing guests. I'm not one of them shows where I could get.
Yeah. You know,
I could go crazy.
Before you, Justin, come on in. Justin behind the scenes, because I know we're running over. We got to get up to Revere Boxing.
I got time. Yeah, honestly, the doors are wide open for you, gentlemen, man. It means much to me that you had me on, and the way you've been me, man. I'll never forget it. I got shirts. I got hats over here for you guys. We got mugs, all different swag, man. We're gonna get you laced up, player. So.
If I could just.
Yeah, Justo.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, if I could, Jerry only wants me to go with him so that I could drive.
There it is.
Drive.
Well, he needs to show.
We're gonna go up together so we can.
Yo, thanks for having me, man. It means the world to me, brother. We gotta keep peeling back layers, but especially with the club, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're just getting started, man. Tip of the iceberg, as I always stay locked in with me. Got whoever's watching, Brad Willett on Facebook. Big things coming. We're getting a new club soon. We're moving. So I want to tell you that too. We're not anymore. The next week or so, we're transitioning over there. It's going to be some craziness, man. Way better location.
I want to thank you for the videos you made for the Neutral Corner. That means a lot to me, man.
It takes seconds. I
know. I don't know what app you're using. I don't know how you do
stories. Facebook stories, man. That's how I got to start learning to edit. That's my next thing. I show they're gonna start showing me the rope, dude. Stories, just stop playing with it. Music, start adding little clips, putting keywords. You can put the time. You're walking your dog, the town you're in, dude.
You took the time to do that, Brad.
You're my dog. I appreciate you, man.
Time to do it, you didn't have to do, and I appreciate that.
I got
Brad
you always.
Revere Boxing, man. Check them out on Facebook. We're gonna be up again. Justin, you got any final words for Brad?
Yeah, I just want to, because I know Jerry hates when I do this, because I end up doing it every week, because every week that goes on, I say oh, this was the best show I've watched yet. This is the best show I've watched yet, right? I say it every week, but I'm gonna put it at this. Very, very simply said, this was hands down the absolute best episode of any podcast I think that and listen, I watch a lot of podcasts.
Whoa.
You can ask anybody, anything from crime to sports, comedy, you name it. This is probably one of the best. I got emotional. I felt like I could run through a brick wall.
Right.
I felt like tomorrow I'm going to be the hardest worker on the face of the planet. There was a bunch of different emotions and feelings that this podcast put me through. Obviously just me and you for the first time, Brad. Jerry, I've known you already for a long time. Just the energy was there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
If people watch the show and they don't feel the absolute roller coaster that I was on, just sitting here watching, then they don't belong watching any podcast. So that's just hands down the best podcast I've seen yet so far. So awesome. Thanks for even letting me be a part of it, watching in the background.
I'm on it. Real quick, if I could, I just want to give a quick shout out, and the most important shout out to my Sifu Alex, who I'm back in contact with. That's where I do my trapping and my Wing Chun and my Jeet Kune Do. I'm back. I want to give a big shout out to Murph, and I want to get a huge shout out to JoJo, because if it wasn't for him, I would not be sitting here right now. He's the best of the best.
Amen, brother.
Yeah,
Amen.
love and respect. Thank you so much.
Amen.
For having me.
We're going to have you on again. It was an honor, a pleasure to have you on. I'm so glad that we've made this connection, this friendship. You know the type of guy I am. I know the type of guy you are.
Instant.
I don't play any games. I'm a solid dude. You come on a Neutral Corner. It's your story. We don't try to, we let you tell it, man. We let you tell it. And I'll tell you what, You've touched a lot of people tonight. You continue to touch a lot of people in your life. Hey, Brad,
I'm on
everything
it.
behind that jab, you're going to be okay, brother.
Absolutely, brother. Shout out my dog Mookie and my girl Smiley. Best of the best, bro. Thank you so much for having me, man.
We'll be in talking. We'll
soon.
be talking. Thank you so much, Brad.
Love and respect.
Absolutely. Wow. Was that not an amazing show? Brad speaks, and when he speaks, you can feel that emotion. You can feel the realness of the story he's conveying and how boxing's helped him in so many ways, and so many battles he's had within his own life to be able to be where he's at now. And he continues to surround himself with good, positive people. And I think that's what it's about. It's about surrounding yourself with people that you trust and they have the best interest of you. And Brad's done. I think the young people at Revere Boxing are so lucky and blessed to have someone like Brad that brings that passion and that well-being, and he means well. I think that's great. We're gonna have Brad on again. I know we gone over. I want to thank Justin, the producer, for letting us go over tonight, and I want to thank everybody that's chimed in. Please share the show, like the page, and you'll know when we go live. Again, thank you everybody for spending your Monday night right here with the Neutral Corner. Everything behind a jab, and you will be okay. Have a great night.
Right next to me is saying it. You may hear him. Down goes